All right, so game two just wrapped up in the NBA Finals. Warriors get the victory 109 to 104 in Toronto. Series is tied 1-1. The story of this game was the other guys again, but this time Golden State got the benefit of the other guys stepping up uh, in game two when Toronto got the benefit of the other guys stepping up in game one. Game two, I thought the MVP of the game was DeMarcus Cousins actually. And when you look at the stat line, he only had 11 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, but his passing down from down the post got guys real good shots. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. His passing was huge. His rebounding was huge. I thought it was a mistake to start him in the game, but Steve Kerr know what he's doing. He's a three-time NBA champion, head coach for a reason. So he knows what he's doing. I thought it would be a mistake because of how Toronto could exploit Cousins defensively, but Toronto did not do that tonight. And again, his passing was big time, and Golden State's other guys made shots. Draymond Green was huge in this game, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 assist off of another triple double. He had triple double in game one, but really wasn't too much to be go crazy about. But tonight he really had a good game. Again in that role of pushing the pace, getting the ball out of Steph and Klay's hands so they can run off screens, get open, and get shots, and Draymond putting them in, getting them the ball in great spots to score, but also his defense as well. He was true to his word tonight. He said after game one that he let Pascal Siakam get into the rhythm that he got in game one because of Green getting in foul trouble early, and Green made sure he didn't do that this game, and he played a very good defensive game against Siakam tonight. Siakam struggled. We'll get to that later. Klay Thompson, he was huge. 25 points, 10 of 17 from the field. Klay was huge tonight. He was huge. He was hitting 3-pointers, getting shots at the rim. He played a very good game tonight. He also had 5 rebounds, 5 assists. he played really well. 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter. He kind of landed. Well, it was earlier in the third quarter. He landed awkwardly on a 3-point attempt. I think he was trying to stretch his leg out, trying to get a foul call, but he comes down. I think it was his right hamstring pull, but they've already said he's already good to go. He should be good to go for game 3 in Oakland on Wednesday. So enough of that. But he was out. He was out during the end of the game. Warriors almost gave it up. But Quinn Cook also had a good game off the bench. Big huge 3-pointers, 9 points. Really the only big contribution off the bench for the Warriors. Livingston also had 6, but Steph Curry struggled tonight. 6 of 17 from the field. Only shot 35%, 23 points, 4 assists. But it was still overall a good game. And in the beginning of the game, it was wonders if he was fatigued, because we started off like 0 of 7 from the field, and he had to go back to the locker room. He was feeling sluggish, but at the end of the first half, he kind of got it going. He hit a couple 3-pointers, got his rhythm going, and then in the second half, he played an okay second half. But Andre Iguodala, the vet, He only had 8 points, but 3 of them were huge. The dagger three-pointer, they were up by 2, 106-104. The Raptors were trying to trap Curry. Curry dribbled the ball, almost turned it over as he was trying to pass to Sean Livingston. Kawhi Leonard almost had to steal. Livingston got the ball, got it to Iguodala, and they left Iguodala open. And I mean, Iguodala hit the shot. I mean, honestly, that's what I would want if I was a Toronto, if I was a Nick Nurse, or if I was a Toronto player, if I was Toronto faithful. I'd want Iguodala taking that shot. I mean, but he knocked it down. So that was my game plan for Toronto. You know, let Iguodala, let Draymond beat you offensively, and that's what they did. That's what they did. Iguodala definitely did tonight with his big three-pointer, which put the icing on the cake for the Warriors again. They tied the series, and they go home for the next 2, and then 3 out of 4. They really put themselves in the driver's seat. Like I said, Clay is good to go. Also, Kevon Looney got hurt in this game as well. So really nasty fall on his left shoulder. I think it was a chest contusion. So we'll see what happens with him. I don't think he'll play Game 3, but we'll see what happens with him. Also, the big elephant in the room, will Durant return for Game 3? I believe he will. They got another 2 days off. I'm pretty sure that I'm almost positive that Durant will practice, and then he'll be good enough to play in Game 3. So getting him back, especially with the injuries that they have, that'll be huge. Yeah, man. Big game, big gritty, another gritty, tough win for the Warriors. Like I said, losing bodies left and right, but still finding a way to win. That's the heart of a champion. That's the heart of a champion. You know, not just Steph. We know other guys stepping up, making plays. You know, the guys that's been there, Iguodala, Quinn Cook, who's been there, Sean Livingston. They've all been there, you know, and Draymond Green, big time. Again, DeMarcus Cousins, I thought he was the difference in the game. He was MVP of the game with his passing, you know, starting, giving you good energy, getting those 10 rebounds. He was huge tonight. But moving on to Toronto. They did not get the. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say here. They did not get what they got from their other guys in Game 1. Obviously, Leonard came back with a vengeance in this game. He only scored 21 in Game 1. Scored 34 tonight, 14 rebounds. He didn't shoot well from 3, but other than that, he pretty much got what he wanted. Kind of disappeared down the stretch. He missed some shots. But Pascal Siakam, the star in Game 1, was held in check tonight. He was held in check. I guess he really wasn't held in check. He just shot horribly, but it was kind of like his average. He, a little under his average. Well, he only had 12 points tonight. He only had 12 points, and that really hurt the Raptors. This game was 5 of 18 from the field. Like I say, he shot terribly. Still had 8 rebounds, 5 assists, but just not what. Not what they usually. Just a little bit under what they usually get from him. Again, like he had that big Game 3. It was Game 1. He was a star of Game 1, and just didn't have it tonight. Marc Gasol, I was really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in Marc Gasol. 6 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 6 rebounds. I was really disappointed. I don't know if it was the game plan or I don't know. It was a few shots that Gasol passed up. I think some open threes. He had Boogie Cousins on him. I thought that Nick Nurse would try to get the ball to Gasol more inside. and try to make Boogie Cousins work defensively, but they didn't do that. The ball was in Kawhi's hands a lot, of course, and also the ball was in Siakam's hand a lot due to that great game 3. Kyle Lowry, I mean, he fouled out. I think it was like with about 5 minutes left to go. He had some questionable calls for fouls, but that last one he picked up, it was totally his fault. Tried to reach in on DeMarcus Cousins after he got a rebound. It's just not a smart play. It's not a smart play at that second. He fouls out. He only has 13 points. I mean, Lowry, he's up and down. He's up and down. He's never been consistent. Well, he's been consistently bad, but he's had a few bright spots. But I was wrong. He has been consistent, but he's been consistently bad. But it seemed like he was kind of turning the corner. He had a few big games in the Milwaukee series, but tonight just wasn't his night. Obviously, Fred VanVleet has kept his high streak going. He had 17 points on the night. He had 3 steals. He played some real hard-nosed defense on Steph Curry. I mean, he was chasing Curry around all night long, and he still had 17 points. That was huge for him. He's kept his hot play since his son's been born. So yeah, other than Leonard, VanVleet was the best guy on the floor for the Raptors tonight. Like I said, they did not get the production out of Siakam and Gasol tonight. And that's tough. And especially when you're at home, they say the role players play better at home, which they did not do tonight. They did not do it. Ibaka had 7 points. Powell had 7 points. But, they only go 8 deep for Toronto. So, not too much else. They really did not shoot well. I mean, the third quarter was just horrendous. They shot 37% as a team. They missed a lot of wide open shots as a team in this game. Again, like I said, 37% shooting. They went almost half the quarter without scoring. It was like 5 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock before they got their first score of the half in the second half. That's when the Warriors went on their big run. That was the third quarter team that we expected in game 1. We didn't get it in game 1, but we got it in game 2. The 18-0 run. That was kind of the difference in the game. Like I said, Clay was a huge part of that. Draymond was a huge part of that. Curry hit some shots. Yeah, that third quarter one was huge. And again, like I said, the Iguodala dagger was huge. Yeah, man. Again, it was a close game. I thought the Raptors could pull it out in a close game, but the Warriors showed their championship mentality. They showed their championship mentality. Again, they without 2 of their best players on the floor, and also Kevon Looney coming down with an injury. As I thought Cousins played a hell of a game today. Draymond played a hell of a game. And the champs got it done on the road in Toronto. So now, again, it's tie series going to Oakland for Game 3 on Wednesday. So both teams get 2 days off to rest and recuperate and get ready. Like I said, I do expect Durant to play in Game 3 at home in Oakland. So I do expect to see that. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens the rest of the series. So, I mean, I really hate Toronto's chances now to even force a 6th game. I had the Warriors in 6, but hell, I could see the Warriors winning both games at home and then close down in Game 5 in Toronto. If not, they'll probably just close out in Game 6 in Oakland like I predicted. But hell of a game. Like I said, both teams really didn't shoot it that well, but hell of a game in the end. Golden State just made more plays at the end. Toronto missed too many shots. But that's it for this one on the Game 3 Wednesday night.